I've been a fan of movies ever since I was a little kid. When given the option, after making good grades, I'd either get the newest toy that come out, or maybe a new game that I was excited about. But every single time, over those two, I picked to go see a movie with my uncle. He started his career in journalism by being a film critic, and watching those movies late at night, the last showing of the day, 10 p.m., just us in the movie in front of us, going over what makes for good cinema. That was truly magical for me when I was young. And from then, that started a lifelong love of cinema. And since the Rocky Top 10 closed, a local theater here in Crossville, there's really been no other options. And so, for the last couple months, I've asked myself, what are we going to do as a town? Well, I suggest Crossville needs a drive-through theater, or drive-in theater. Now, why are theaters important? Well, ever since the 30s, theaters have been a cultural touchstone in America. They've been places where all ages can gather together. They've been places that bring in tourism from communities that don't have theaters. And they provide an immersive movie-going experience, which may not seem like a lot, but seeing these movies in the medium and the format that they were meant to be seen in is truly something that everyone should experience. And since COVID, the only small business, or the only businesses open that offer something similar, a movie-going experience, has been the Palace, which historically has been a fantastic part of Crossville's history and identity as a small town. However, in my interview with an associate that worked at the front desk, during the entire month of September, they were only showing one movie on a Thursday at 3 p.m. Who's going to see that movie? I'm sorry, retirees? Who else? And the Palace, like I said, the Palace Theater is fantastic, but it is our only option unless you want to go somewhere far-fetched, like Jamestown or Cookeville. And even then, aside from the fairgrounds or Crab Orchard, there's no real seasonal venues for motor clubs or film festivals, which Tennessee has a very active small-time film festival, and Crossville has nowhere to display any of those. So there it is. So what can we do? Well, our two of our three options are large theaters like AMC and Cookeville. Typically, they have budgets somewhere in the millions, and medium theaters typically have budgets in the tens to hundreds of thousands. According to the American Film Association, this is about average across the United States. However, I posit a third option: the drive-in. Now, also according to the American Film Association, most drive-ins operate at about $10,000 to $12,000, which is 15 times less than the next closest option. I interviewed several drive-ins, that being Sparta Drive-In and another one in White County as well, and they declared that their operating costs were mostly spent between food truck catering and licenses for displaying movies. Well, I have an idea for that. Catering can be done by food trucks. We have a very, very close relationship with the food trucks here in Crossville. I contacted Taco Guadalajara, and I believe the Flying Pig has a food truck as well that I contacted, and they would love for an opportunity to have a place that showed up every week regularly that they could give their food at. I also talked with Stephen Williams of the Small Business Center, that we don't need a land permit for a drive-in. Instead, as long as it's a temporary location, you can pop up in any old parking lot as long as you get permission from the owners. Now, what do you say? Do you think Crossville would benefit from a drive-in? A place with cheap tickets, good food, locally made, where you can see anything from the black and white classics of the yesteryear to the newest blockbuster that just came out. That, alongside with cost and the options for modularity and community-run events, to me, the answer is clear. What do you all think?